Hey moms, are you ready to step into your genius with the most powerful practice?
Hey daughters, are you ready to step into your genius with the most powerful practice?
Welcome to episode 4
of the Juggle is Real
of Mother and Daughter.
show.
So Sabrina, are you ready?
I was born ready.
Born ready. So speaking of that, yes, you were born to be a genius. Remembering that a genius is our capacity to be able to use all these different capacities, our intellect, our intuition, our reasoning, our will, our memory, our creative capacity. It's being able to use all that. And as we've learned along the way here, since we've started the show, is that we have learned that limiting beliefs through our own internal judgment, through experiences, have limited our capacity to step into our genius. And what we discovered last week, or what we were discovering more about, is that your story, one of the stories of what happened to you when?
In 7th grade.
In 7th grade, and it continued to happen, right? Because it continued to happen in middle school and in freshman year, right? These stories, they keep repeating. So your thoughts that bring about social anxiety are going to keep surfacing, and they are going to keep what?
Repeating.
What happens though? They limit you from stepping into your
Genius.
into your potential, right? So, and that's not going to go away. But as I said in last week's episode, was that one is to be really clear, right, on what your most amazing skills are, that we said was determination, and to get really clear on what a successful school year looks like for you, right?
Yes.
And then just always start to notice when social anxiety starts to creep up, right? Because those thoughts, when you start to notice, because remember when I said to you, kind of, it feels like tight in your body. You feel, you said you feel closed off or like shut down. You know what that feeling is. And when you have that feeling, here's what I wanted to say to you. The most powerful practice is forgiveness. Okay, no, hear me out. Hear me out. Okay, so it's, yes, forgiveness in those girls and these situations are going to keep coming up, but also forgiveness in yourself for having this response, right? Because what I wanted to share with you is that these responses that you have is just your natural biology, it's your natural nervous system of wanting to keep you safe, right? Meaning like you have this primitive part of your nervous system that just wants to be safe, right? So like your brain, your body, your whole nervous system doesn't know that you're not being chased by a tiger. If you have a friend yell at you, if you have a friend that doesn't call you, or a boy one day that doesn't call you, or more of that social media bullying, your body thinks it's running away from a tiger, right? So there's some aspect, just hear me out, that you can just really forgive yourself for having this natural response. Okay. So that's forgiveness, right? Forgiveness for yourself. So that way you really just have compassion for yourself for feeling that you have social anxiety, because I mean, that probably doesn't feel good, right? No, like when I have this anxiety and I don't want to be able to use my voice, it doesn't feel good. You feel not good enough. And then often when you do use your voice, it perhaps isn't received by other people very well. And then you're almost convincing yourself, right? So there's this beautiful practice of forgiveness, of just being able of your responses, and also wanting to not have them, to be able to have what you want, that successful year of connections and grades and all that, right? Okay, so that's forgiveness, right? And it's about forgiving those people, those situations in your life that you feel like they have wronged you. And look at your face right now, and it's really hard. And let me just tell you, hear me out. Everybody hear me out. Because I'm a grudge holder. You know me. But through yes, empathy and learning and just learning that, okay, this is just like our feelings and our emotions, they are our own. I can't tell you to not be anxious, right? I
Yeah.
can't, okay? And you can't tell me to not be angry. Like when I was mad at you the other day for
Wearing a tank
wearing
top.
something, which is actually going to be the next episode. Um, but when we think about forgiveness as a not like letting it's not letting the other person like off the hook. That's not what I'm saying. Because if there are situations where like you are completely wronged, right? You are like when you take my shirt, I am wronged, girl. I am wronged. No,
They're
no,
cute.
no. But when you think about forgiveness in a way as giving for forgiveness, giving for a different perspective, a different way of thinking things. What it does is just allows you the ability to start to process the way you see things in a different way. And it doesn't happen overnight, right? Because some of these girls, whoever it was, I said the word Sam, I said the word whoever, it doesn't matter who it was. Those people on social media who were social bullying, you said you didn't even know them. But when you can forgive them for one, they just want to be popular too. They want to be liked. They want the attention. They want those likes on social media. They want those likes in and to have connections at school. They want them. You want them too. That's just part of our wiring. So there's a way of just, yeah, like understanding they want that. And I know it's hard to forgive them, but also too, it's like what's going on for them at home,
It's true.
right? You don't know what's going on with them at home. Like I we know that we're lucky enough. I mean, I know that you're super lucky to have a mom like me.
Wow. When you put it like that.
No, but do you see what I'm saying? It's not overnight, but this practice of learning forgiveness is super powerful because it just frees you. It frees you from even having to think about it anymore, from holding on to the grudge, because it's a heaviness that you hold on to in your body, right? And it's just slowly over time, you just start to give for a different kind of thinking for them, for every situation that's going to happen. And trust me, that's how I've forgiven you for a lot of things.
Well. Well.
How is that?
It was good. We're actually learning about perspective in English.
You're still learning about, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm reading them more about mental health. So I
Yeah.
can read from a perspective of a different person.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And that's different layers and levels of listening too, right? When you can actually, when you can actually listen from the perspective of the other person. It's beautiful. I love that. And so that will be your assignment today. That's your is write down something. First of all, the best way to figure out what needs to be forgiven or giving for a different perspective is write down what you are still triggered by, what still makes you upset. Write it down. The thought of me on social media, them using the word Sabrina, them saying, shut that up, bringing that up again. How does that make you feel? And then turn it.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. No, seriously, before we end, I've been asked to have Serena's voice be used. So, is there something that you can share your perspective on this powerful one? Do you think it's a powerful practice?
Yes, very much so.
Uh-huh.
I think that you can learn different things. Like you were saying, perspective, and then we're all so different, but we all like want the same things. We all thrive to like be popular, to get those likes, and to just like be each other when you're unique and you're yourself.
To step into the genius of your unique self.
Yes.
Yes. Beautiful. So good. So good. In perspective, I promise you, Sabrina, I have these hard things too, like this hard way of reshaping my thinking, because I
Mm-hmm.
know that there's so much power in thought. And there's something from A Course in Miracles. I am a student of A Course in Miracles. You know, it's one of my, when I tell you about my morning rituals, it just sets me up in the morning. And that is a practice. A Course in Miracles is a practice of learning how to change the thoughts of fear into changing into thoughts of love. So it's this radical change, because most of our thinking is fear-based thoughts. Social anxiety are fear-based thoughts. And really learning to change our thinking into love changes everything for you. It's a whole different energy, and more of that energy is just going to be shaped into your life. It's going to be shaped into that beautiful school year that you want, with all your connections, with all your grades, right? That you want,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And then sometimes you realize that when you have those high expectations too, and when you don't meet them, this forgiveness practice is a powerful practice, one, to create a sense of understanding, a sense of compassion,
Mm-hmm.
right? And to truly just free you from an attachment that just it perpetuates social anxiety. It perpetuates what you're saying, this mental dis-ease, which is a dis-ease in our body, in our thinking, and in our emotions, and most importantly, in how we take actions on those. Thank you for being here to episode 4. And next week's episode, we are going to invite the mom and the daughter of the story of how we came here,
Yay!
See you next week.